Next is designing with Figma. So basically, since morning that I will be talking, you guys should have understand Figma to some certain extent now. I will just be introducing you to the tools. So, and it's just as if maybe for example, let's say for example, let's give a scenario of a father that gave all his children, he gave all of them um gave all of them cutlass, abi not even cutlass, he gave all of them, let's say he gave all of them cutlass and hoe, and he gave all of them equal proportion of farm or proportion of farm that have the same amount of fertility. By the end of the year, not all of them will have the same amount of harvest. Dat one is certain, because depending on how they use the cutlass and their hoe and their farmland, dats what will determine what they will be getting at the end of the year. So dats how Figma interface. I will introduce you to everything, all the tools, even the tools are not even much, like they are very easy to know. And the fact that I may introduce you to all the tools, dat doesn't mean dat you will still like make use of it very well. So let's start from here. Dis is the menu, dis is the menu icon tool. So on the menu icon, just the way we have our normal any other application we use, MS Word kini, we have file, you can create new design file, you can save local copy, and you can save to version history. So under dis save to version history, for example, maybe you design yesterday, and den you were now designing today, you realize dat you are doing rubbish, you want to now go back to yesterday, you can go back to your previous version. That's one of the functionality, and you can show version history, you can show everything that you've done to show you to that very particular stage. So we have edit too, we have view, you can view outlines, view pixel, view anything, and we have the object, we have component and the likes, we have text, we have arrange, we have vector. You don't really need all these things because me sef I don't use them, but you may be needing this file and edit, that one is normal. And we have plugins, you all know plugins now. So plugins are like something that can actually make your work very fast. Maybe you are designing like this now, you need an icon. Instead of you drawing your icon by yourself or going online to go and download it, then you can just install any Figma plugin. Like for example, this material design icon now, you can see different plugins. Maybe it's home plugin that you are looking for. You can see home plugin, different home plugin. You can click and select whichever one you want. And once you select it, you can see it. You can use it, you can scale it, you can change the color, change anything. So that's one of the functionality of plugins. You can use plugin for shapes, you can use for this one is for random shapes. You can create a random shape, you can create a bulb shape, you can create wave, you can create anything. So that's about that. And we have different form of plugin depending on whichever operation. Even we have some icons like 3D. Let's come blush so that you can see. And like this icon now, this is a collection. You can get this one. So can you see the icon now? We want to use it, and this one is in form of image, it's not giving you as an icon, but if you subscribe to it and pay for kini, then they may be giving you icon. And icon, anything icon, if you want to be able to change color of any form of stuffs in design, then they work in form of icon. Icons are SVGs, icons and vector file. So let me even explain dat one to you so dat you can understand the basic kini. We have different type of file, and most especially the ones that are common are PNG, JPEG and SVG. We also have PDF too. So these ones are very common. This one is image, but the image can have a transparent background and all those kind of stuff. So any image that has a transparent background is a PNG file. and the one that doesn't have a transparent background can still be a PNG file or a JPEG file, but a JPEG file doesn't have a transparent background. Once you save anything as JPEG, it automatically gives a background based on the shape. And we have SVG. SVG are scalable vector graphics. So anything that is scalable, that you can change the color, change anything, you can edit anyhow, you can change the way it looks. Maybe you have a shape. Let me use this plugin again. You have the shape. This is an SVG, right? You can edit it, you can see the shape, you can decide to do your own like this. You can change it anyhow, you can alter it, you can do it the way you like. So that's SVG, and you can change the color, you can change the properties, you can make it a gradient, do any form of stuff with it. So those are SVG files. So those are SVG files. Anything that you can scale and you can manipulate, those are SVG files. And PDF, we all know PDF. And also you can also edit PDF too, depending on the application you are using. You can create any form of design and save it in PDF, and if you should upload it into another application, another design, or let me say another design creation software like Photoshop, and you can still edit it. So PDF doesn't have enough attribute as SVG, but it's still very okay. You can still edit PDF too. So even when you want to go and print something, if you print press and the like, you may be asking for PDF file instead of SVG. But anything you are creating, maybe you want something that you want them to be able to change it in the future, you have to deliver an SVG file for them. And even developers sef, any form of stuff you are delivering to the developer, it's either is image or SVG. So those are the two stuffs. So we now have Pixel. If you should notice, this one is a 13 pixel font, right? Is in 13 pixel font, and this is how Pixel is being formed. This is how Pixel is being formed. If you count it from here, count this thing from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and we have a spacing of 3 pixel. We have a spacing of 3 extra pixel. If you should check inside there, you realize that we have 16 here. That is the reason for the extra 3 that is up here. So you can, when you are working in design, you work with pixel. Any form of stuff you are creating is a pixel.
Sorry, I don't understand. Can you come again at that area of that pixel?
Of pixel, right?
Yes.
Okay, so like pixel is the smallest, like is the smallest shape of any design element. Smallest shape, like the smallest shape. Anything you are doing is in pixel. Maybe you draw this shape now, it is now. It, the width is 20 pixel and the height is 20 pixel. This is it. Let me explain it to you. Can you see the shape now?
Yes.
So the reason when you zoom in very well, you will see the whole pixel, you will see pixel for the way pixel is in Figma. Like everything is in pixel. But if you should count this thing, this very particular shape, let's count it. One, two,
One,
three,
two,
four,
three.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's because it is 20 pixel. Do you understand? So everything is built up in shapes. If you type letter A, let's type letter A. Let's flatten the A so that, can you see the height of letter A? 9.45 pixel. The width is 8 pixel. So let's calculate the height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 5 pixel at top. Can you see it? Like that is how pixel work. Everything is built up in pixel, but they are in form of different shape. So pixel is the smallest shape in any design element. You understand? So if you are creating an icon, you want to give a text, you want to give this text, maybe you type one, then you can give it a pixel of, let me say it's 50 pixel. can give it any form of, you can increase the size, do it the way you like. So that's how pixel work. You now understand the fundamental of pixel now. So pixel is the smallest stuff in design. And when it comes to images, let's import an image. Let's import an image. Wait, that is now. So this one is to
Sorry, please. How did you import that image?
can just drag and drop from your file explorer.
Okay. Okay.
Let me use here. So I want to try and explain pixel in this image. If you should zoom in very well, can you see this image? Can you see that if each shape is of different color?
Yeah, it's in a page still.
Is of
Yeah.
different
Yes.
color, but they are combined together in such a way that you think everything is together. When you zoom out very well, if you snap any picture with iPhone, picture yìí dope o, ó ní quality ó gbé shape mi jáde, everything is in pixel. It's just that the resolution is different. Like if you should snap a picture, you snap just one picture like this and the picture is like 6 MB. How is it 6 MB? That's because it has so much amount of pixel based on the camera quality. You understand? If you snap picture like this now, so some picture might be about 10,000 pixel ratio something, like let me say 4,000 pixel, let me say 4,000 pixel ratio, 2,000 pixel. Imagine you having 2,000 2,000 different shapes of different color on a row. How will you notice? And they are displaying the picture within this very particular small frame. So 2,000 lines between the inside the shape, you won't even notice because you think it's actually one. You understand? So that's how pixel work. But once you zoom in very well, you realize that each shape is of different color. Each shape is of different color, and that's how they form pixel. You understand? That's how they form the whole image. The pixels form the whole image and they give it a different color. If you should check the old pictures in 2010 on your 2700, you realize that the quality low gan, and if you should zoom in very well, you realize how pixelated it is compared to what you are snapping now on iPhone 13. So that's how pixel work. Pixel when it comes to image. But when it comes to SVG, in this one now you have everything in square, in square, in square, in square, in square. But when it comes to SVG like this, you realize that everything is not in square. Everything is not in square. That's because SVG are scalable. You can bend them, you can use them to form any form of shape. They don't really go with pixel format. So you can scale them to the smallest size. And just the way we have this one, let me flatten this one. Let me use what I flattened before. This A like this, let me scale it. I already scale it into 1 pixel. Can you see? Despite the fact that I'm reducing the size, it's not forming any shape, it's not getting pixelated. Let me now increase it to the biggest size possible. Can you see it's still maintaining same edge, same everything. So that's why SVG is different from pictures. SVG can't be pixelated while pictures can be pixelated because SVG are scalable, pictures are not scalable. Once you scale a picture that has a very low quality, once you scale it bigger, it will show the pixel. And this is what I mean by once you scale it bigger. Can you see? It automatically shows the pixels. You understand now? So that's pixel and that's SVGs and PNGs and JPEG and PDF. So let's move on to our tools. And we have widgets, we have preference. So all this preference, maybe you want to snap to pixel grid, snap to, I only use this one. You can snap to object, snap to dimension, but I only use this pixel grid. Reason for pixel grid is because whenever you are designing, like I said, you design in pixel. Whenever you are designing, you design with pixel. And imagine me giving this one 60 pixel and I give that one 12 pixel. So let's assume I'm trying to like reduce the size together. Can you see that it's still giving me onto a pixel size? And when I want to try and increase the size, can you see that it's moving by one pixel? So that's the function of pixel grid, because you can't be expecting developer to be typing 5.86 pixel, all those kind of stuff. But if you have some kind of situation whereby you want to like override that, you want something else, then you can remove snap to pixel grid. Then you'll be able to scale it the way you want. Can you see that it's changing here? The amount of, so that's the work of snap to pixel grid in case you want to use it. So and that's all about the menu icon. So this icon is, once you draw any shape, maybe you draw this one, you can click outside there, or maybe you are typing something and you are still on that typing, you want to stop typing, or you don't want to type,
Sorry, that snap pixel grid, how do you get there?
just come here, preferences.
Okay, preferences. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So we have move button. So once you are doing anything, once you are on any of this button, maybe comment on anything and you don't want to do it again, you just drop it on move button. And move button, you can use it to move anything. Can you see? Whenever you want to move anything, you just click on it and hold it, then you can use it to move anything you want. So that's move button. And you also have scale. Maybe you want to scale something, but instead of you using scale, you can just click on move and then just scale it by yourself by bringing your Kinect to the edge. So just the way we have this shape, maybe you want to edit this shape, you want to edit it, you don't like the way it is, you can just double click, double tap it. So once you double tap it, you can see that you can move this one, you can move this one, you can move this one, you can do it the way you like. So and once you are done, you click on done. You understand? And instead of, maybe you don't want to click on done, you can double tap outside the shape again, or maybe inside the shape to automatically save your changes. So and this tool, which is the frame tool, is also known as the artboard tool. Like, it's very important when it comes to design. This is the artboard tool. And whichever stuff, maybe you are designing a flyer, you are designing a website, everybody come in form of artboard. Artboard is your workspace. Maybe you want to design a mobile application, then you will have an artboard. The shape of your mobile application that you are designing for, that is the artboard. Although it may be scrollable, it may be longer than that, then you make it scrollable, that kind of stuff. But you should automatically have an artboard for all your designs. So that is the function of artboard. And you also have slice too. Nice stuff too. So you also have the slice too. For example, maybe you are trying to create some kind of demarcation in your design, you can use the slice tool. You are trying to create some kind of demarcation and some kind of spacing between your design so that you'll be able to align your design. Then you can use the slice tool. And also we have I've already explained all the shapes here, right? And moving on to the next one, which is the pen tool. we have the pen tool and the pencil tool. So pen is used to draw a shape from one point to another like this, and maybe you want to make it curve, you just click on the next point and draw it the way you like. That's pen. Maybe after drawing it you can also edit it like this. So that's pen. That's what you can use pen to do. And pencil is used to draw. You can draw any shape you want. That's the function of pencil tool. And our normal text tool for you to type. But instead of you clicking on text tool, you can just press T and then you type. You understand? So the next one is widget. They just added this one. This one you don't really need it. Maybe when you want to use plugin, you can see all the components in your design from here. You can see your plugins, all your plugins, and you can see your widgets. So they just added this one, so you don't really need it for now. And we have the move tool, the hand tool. Hand tool is used to move anything. Maybe you are on this page, you now want to leave this page. You understand? Then you move the whole page all at once by using the hand tool. But instead of you using the hand tool, you can just hold down the space bar. Once you hold down the space bar, you'll be able to move from anywhere on the whole interface. So that's the function of this one. And this one is used to add comments. Maybe you and someone are collaborating and the person is doing something else. You can just say stop that shit. Oh, sorry, stop what you are doing. So that kind of stuff, you can just send it. So once you send the message, the person can just read it okay and then mark it as delivered. Or he can also type his own comment too. So that's the function of this
Sorry,
comment.
please, can you come back again on that comment?
Comment, just use it to click on anywhere you want to click on, then add the comment and send. You can also check it and add another comment too, this same point. Or you can add a comment to somewhere else. You understand?
Is it in the case where we're trying to comment on someone's work or
When you are collaborating with your team members, that's the function.
okay, okay, all right.
We have dis two. Dis one is for edit object. Just the way I told you to double click here. That's what this one does. Once you click on it, it gives you access to edit it. And then this one is component. I already show you how this one works, component, right? So the next one is mask. When you are trying to mask an object, that's how this one works. For example, let's say you want to mask this. You want to mask this shape, you want this shape to carry deal whatever is inside this picture. Then whichever object you are using to mask, the shape you want stuff to follow, right? You make sure that is at the back, and then any other thing you are masking inside the shape will be at the top. Maybe you have, let me duplicate this shape now. Then you automatically
Wait, wait, sorry.
yeah.
That's mask. Please, can you come again?
I've not yet done it. I just said whichever stuff you want
Like
to mask,
from that place.
whichever stuff you want to mark, the shape, maybe want to mask everything on this shape. Any other stuff you want to mark on this shape will be at the top, and the shape you want to mask it on will be at the bottom. Then you will highlight everything together, or you can highlight it one by one by holding the shift button. Then you click on mask. It automatically mask into the shape. Can you see? So that's how mask objects works. Yeah, you understand. So that's about mask. That's about mask. We have another one. We have another one which is merging. We have this shape and we have another shape. Like I showed you earlier, maybe you want to merge it together. You want this shape to become one. Just click on this merge shape, you make it a union. Once you merge it together, that's one. And in some cases, maybe you don't want to merge it together, you want it to create some kind of holo of this very particular triangle where they meet each other. You want you want the intersection to be you want to remove the intersection where they intersect each other. Then you click on this intersect selection, not this one. You click on the last one which will exclude intersection selection. Can you see? It automatically forms that shape. But what about the kind of situation whereby you only want the shape at the middle, you don't want this one, you don't want this one? Then you can use this intersect selection. Can you see? Maybe you want something else, you want the shape at the top to be cut out from the one at the bottom, then you use this one, and that's how it works. That's how this one works. But it can only be shown are when you select two or more layers together. Hope you grab. So that's how the tools at the top works. And if you notice very well, side there, whichever shape you draw are already showing in layers. This one too is showing in layers. The picture, everything here will be shown in layers, and they are all inside frame one. That's because everything is inside our design frame one. But if you pull it out, it automatically comes out of the frame. So that's how the side bar here will be showing you the layers. And if you want to check asset, maybe you make this one a component, then you have an asset, you see all your assets here, and that's how the asset tool works. And also maybe you are done, maybe you already created your website, you are done creating your website on this page, and then you want to create another page so that you can do your mobile application there. You can create another page here and name the page. You can create it and name the page. You can also delete it, and you can also duplicate the page anyhow. So let's move on to the sidebar. So on the sidebar, I already explained how this alignment tool work for us now. Maybe you want to align the two shape. When this one can only be active when you click two or more shapes. The one at the for equal distribution can only be active when you use two or more shapes. So when you now use three shapes, you can tidy it up in grid. It automatically tidies everything up for you. For example, let's say we have this, we have this. It's not looking nice, but once you tidy it up, it automatically forms a perfect grid for you. So that's how the last one works. And as you can see, this item, it shows its position on X axis and it shows its position on Y axis. This is the width, this is the height. Maybe you want to make sure that once you are increasing the width, the height should automatically increase. Then you will try and constrain proportion, that is, you will lock it. Once you lock it together, when you are increasing this one, why is it not working? Once you increase this one, or just press shift button, once you hold shift, it automatically increases. But the constraint proportion, I think it only works for pictures. For example, just the way we have this picture. No, something is wrong with this thing. This plane. This is not okay. So let's try and increase it by entering the text, because I've not yet tried it that way before and I'm surprised. So once you lock it and you want to change the value here, it automatically changes the height to the height changes with the width. But what I've been using most times, I've not yet changed it like that. Whenever I want to increase the size, instead of me locking it, I just hold the shift button. Once you hold the shift button, it automatically increase in both height and width together. That's the reason why I'm really surprised that it doesn't really work that way. So That's how it works. That's how the constraint proportion works. And let's move to the next one, constraint. For example, this is how this one works. I want to try and show you something. Maybe you have this shape now. You have this shape and you want it to be 11 pixels to the right and 11 pixels to the bottom, regardless of how change the size of our artboard. So once you lock it to the bottom, you can lock it to the bottom, which is 11 pixel to the bottom, and lock it to the right, which is 11 pixel, and click your frame. Once you click your frame, no matter how much you scale this frame, it will automatically be locked that way throughout your design. So that's how you can maintain a certain proportion. And also this one, maybe you are trying to, whenever you notice that once you go to some website, the header at the top where they have the home page, kinikan, link and like and the search bar will remain on the same position even though you are scrolling. So that's how this one, so you can fix the position while scrolling. No matter how much you scroll during prototype, once you click on prototype, no matter how much you scroll, the stuff will remain on the same position. So that's how this one works. And for this one too, you can also fix it in the middle, in the center. So whichever way, if you should increase it this way, it will always be in the center, or reduce it, it will always be in the center, and so on and so forth. So that's about the tools. And we have layers. So under layers, maybe you don't want you don't want the whole layer. For example, let's group this one together, and then you want to reduce the opacity. You can reduce it to 10, all the layers opacity reduce to 10, and so on and so forth. So that's how you manipulate layer. You can also change the type of layer to normal, darken, multiply, but all these ones I have not used them before, and I don't really see their functionalities because I've never seen any designer using them before. But everybody use pass through and normal. You can only use the two, but the rest, nah, I can't advise you to use it because you don't really need it. So moving on to the next one, we have fill. If you click on any element, you can fill it with any color you want. For example, maybe the shape doesn't have a field yet, you can just fill it with any color, change the color. You can change the color S code, and then maybe you realize that you don't have an S code, you have an RGB code. You can change the RGB code. RGB code are somehow complex. That's the reason why people prefer to use S code, straightforward. So, and we have different S code for our primary colors. For Let me change it to S code. For yellow, for black is zero or true, white is F or true, while blue is 0000 FF. That is blue. And if you are red is green, this is green, this is green, and yellow too, you have yellow, and so on and so forth. So different form of shapes and likes, everything is made of a different form of color, and some companies sef will even trademark their color so that you won't be able, and nobody will be able to use that color on their product again, or else they will sue that person, that kind of stuff. So colors too are in the form of S code, and based on different, from F, you have color from FE, we have FE, we have FEDCA to 0. That's just the way we have S code, which is 16. So that's what they mean by S code in color. And they can, every form of color is combined in that very particular S code, and we have billions of colors in the S code. So that's how S code work. And moving on to the next one, stroke. You all know stroke now. Stroke is the border. You can give it an inside border. You can make the border come inside your shape, or you can make it outside border so that it comes outside your shape, and you can make it a center so that it comes both inside and outside with the same, with equal proportion. So that's whether you can increase your border size and you can reduce it. You can also decide to give it just the top, the border, or the bottom, or anything. That's how that one works. and also you can edit it and change it to dash. Maybe you want to change it to dash, you can give it different attributes, dash cap. Maybe you want it to be in dash with in form of circle and like so different form of editing, and you can make the dash corner too, you can make it a pointed edge, you can make it a curve, different form of stuff. So Figma is some as you keep on using it, you will understand all these stuffs by yourself. So moving on to the next one, which is effect. I already show us how to use effect. Number one, this one is shadow. This is how to use effect. You can edit your shadow on X axis, you can increase it. This is X axis. You can do the Y axis. You can increase the blur. You want it to be much more blur, and you want to reduce the blur. You can increase the blur spread. You can spread the blur, or you can reduce it. So you can also change the color for the shadow. You can change it to red, you can change it to blue, change it to any one you like. So and also you can give the shadow an opacity. You can reduce the opacity, you can increase the opacity, and you can change the S code too. Also this is a tool that we call pick color tool. Maybe I want to pick color, I want to pick any form of color on any form of shape. I want my shadow to be of this color. I just pick the color with this pick color tool. Can you see? So that is the function of pick color tool. Maybe you are trying to get a color from any object and you don't know the S code, just bring the object image here or anything and then click on pick the color tool and then pick the color, and that is all about pick color. Moving on to the next one, which is export. Whenever you want to
Sorry,
um
on that color, like how do you get to know all the names of the color? I don't understand.
it's because I've been designing for years.
Like must you type the colors before you can bring
You
out
don't need
the
to type
selection?
the color, you can just click on here and use whichever color you want to use. It automatically gives you the S code there. If you want to, you can just scale through by yourself and find the color you are looking for. And
Alright,
if you find an image that has the color, you can bring the image and use this pick color too.
okay.
But me, I work on different, so I know many S code offhand. So So that's all about the sidebar, and we have the last one, which is prototyping. Prototyping will come later during the class when we move to using Figma fully. After our US process that we are starting the foundation of US this weekend. So after that one, after doing the whole US case study and the likes, then we now move to Figma. Then we will use Figma very well and every time. So did you get everything?
Yeah, I think I understand the explanation, but in terms of the way you do your draft, your craft, the way you move around the Figma, I think you are more used to the system. Probably one will get along and play with it, you will understand better.
Okay, I'm actually recording it, so I will send you the recording. I will even post it on YouTube so that people can even watch it. So this one is showing everything.
Thanks.
All right. So thank you very much. I think we are done now.
Question.
All right. So
Gracias.
all right, too. Thank you very much. Good
Really
night.
appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome.
Thanks, bye.
God bless.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.